Hi there, welcome to the Alexander Technique with me, Kellow-Webb. I just want to share some tips with you on how to sit better, because that is something that is surrounded by lots of myths, and really we should be able to sit very comfortably for long periods of time, and many of our issues with back pain, hip pain come from too much sitting, but we can actually sit really well, and I want to share some tips with you on how to go about doing that. So essentially what we want to be doing when we're sitting is to make sure that we have our sitting bones, the two big pelvic bones underneath us, we have contact with our sitting bones. It's easy on a nice hard surface, but try and be aware of being right on the middle of your sitting bones. If I tilt forwards a little bit, I've come off that point and I'm now beginning to hold myself up. Consequently, if I slouch backwards, I've come off those sitting bones and now I'm beginning to collapse down into my lower back, and I'm also having to hold myself up with tension in the stomach and the chest and also the inner thigh. So the first rule is to try and get on your sitting bones, and I often say to people, just to remind yourself, lift and land so you're on your sitting bones. The second thing is to be aware of where your feet are. We don't want to be sat with our legs crossed, because that compromises the lower back, that causes tension, and we don't want to have our legs squeezed together. So we want our heels and our feet to be in alignment with our shoulders, and we want to be able to let our legs release so that our sitting bones are taking the full weight of our upper body. Now, the other thing that people tend to do is they sit up straight, which is they hold themselves up. They find that hurts their back, it's tiring, and then after a while they have to collapse and slump because they can't sustain that amount of effort. So I just want to show you that you can sit really well, you can sit with great posture, you can be upright without holding that excessive tension in your back. So what I encourage people to do is to release their back. So if I'm sitting and holding myself upright, so I'm pulling my back forwards, okay, you can see I've got a curve in my lower back here, and consequently you can see my head is beginning to go back, my chest is out, and now I'm holding lots of tension throughout my body, okay? And to maintain that is hard work. So I encourage people to let their back release. So that means to soften the back, and when you first try it, it feels like you possibly slumping, and that is just the kinesthetic feedback you're getting from the body. But you will notice that my back now is flat, okay, it's released, and I'm not holding any tension in my back, but I'm still upright, I'm still lengthening up out of my sitting bones. If I release my back too much, I end up collapsing, and that's different to letting the back release. Collapse is when the spine then collapses down. You can see that the head is coming to my shoulders and gone forward, and my posture now looks bad as I've got a collapse in the upper body. So I can just think about my spine lengthening up out of my sitting bones. I can release my legs, and I can just think about sitting tall and allowing my head to release off the top of my spine right up here, and balance with poise on the top of my spine. A lot of people sit with their head there, the head is pulled back down onto the spine. So just think of dropping the chin roughly 2 to 5 millimeters so that your eye line is looking ahead, and almost your eyes almost following the line of your nose. And you will notice the difference between that and that, because you will notice that there's a release of tension in the neck. So if I come back to the front again, just to recap, sitting bones, feet shoulder width apart, release the inner thigh, relax the shoulders, and let the lower back release back. So it almost feels like it's a slump, but you won't be slumping. And just think about keeping your body aligned and lengthening up out of your pelvis, and you should, with practice, find that you can sit like this for long periods. And if you are sitting in a chair with a back, make sure that you move yourself all the way to the back of the chair so that you can use the back rest of the chair to support your back as well, to give it a little bit of rest. And it also serves to give some feedback as to how your back is releasing, widening and lengthening as you're sitting. So I hope those sitting ideas and tips help. If you have any comments or questions, please do get in touch via my website, and I look forward to speaking to you again. Thanks for watching.